Dawn of the Dead, the one that started it all. The source of the reanimation is famously vague, hinted to be radiation from a fallen satellite that blankets the Earth. The central, terrifying rule is simple. When you die, you come back. This applies to everyone, regardless of how they perish. A bite from the dead also delivers a fatal fever, creating a grim, two-pronged threat to the living. These are the classic ghouls, slow, shambling, and operating on a single instinct to consume living flesh. While mindless, they possess faint muscle memory from their former lives, leading them to instinctively gather in familiar places like a shopping mall. This outbreak gave us the foundational rules of zombie survival. Aim for the head, a bite is a death sentence, and the living are dangerously unpredictable. Beneath that survival guide, the apocalypse is used to expose humanity's deepest flaws and its inability to unite against a common enemy. School Live. Welcome to the School Living Club. It's a small group of girls trying to survive the end of the world from inside their high school. The outbreak itself is standard fare. A virus created classic, slow-moving zombies who now endlessly shamble across the school grounds. These monsters are their former classmates and teachers, a constant reminder of the world they lost. The real tragedy, however, is inside the barricades. The story is told through the eyes of Takeya Yuki, a cheerful girl whose mind completely shattered from the trauma. She lives in a constant, total delusion where the apocalypse never happened. For her, the school is still full of students, classes are in session, and life is a series of fun club activities. Her friends are the guardians of this fragile lie, actively playing along with Yuki's fantasy to protect her sanity and safety. Their lives are a harrowing performance, pretending to enjoy a normal school day, while secretly fighting off walkers, scavenging for rations, and holding back their own crushing despair. The zombies are a physical threat, but the true horror is the psychological toll of maintaining a happy illusion in a world of absolute terror. 28 days later. Pure, weaponized fury. The rage virus is a hyper-virulent pathogen developed in a Cambridge lab, unleashed on the world by animal rights activists trying to free an infected chimp. It spreads in seconds through any contact with infected blood, transforming its victim almost instantly. The infected are living humans. Their minds are raised and replaced with a singular, blinding rage. They sprint after prey with terrifying speed, not to feed, but simply to maim and spread the contagion with every scratch and bite. The outbreak turned the genre on its head, swapping slow, shambling dread for pure, high-octane terror. By making the monsters fast, it made zombies scary again and showed the total collapse of society could happen in the blink of an eye. The Walking Dead. In this world, the apocalypse is already inside you. A dormant pathogen, the wildfire virus, has infected every single human on Earth. A walker's bite is lethal, delivering a deadly fever, but the true horror is the fine print. Everyone is already a carrier. When you die from any cause at all, you turn. The walkers are slow, rotting, and relentlessly driven by a single base instinct to feed. A lone walker is a problem. A herd is a force of nature, an undead tide that can sweep away entire communities. The Last of Us. This apocalypse comes from the Earth. A mutated strain of the cordyceps fungus, a real-world parasite known for creating zombie ants, makes the terrifying leap to humans. It's a parasitic growth that invades the host brain, erasing their identity and turning their body into a violent puppet for the fungus. Transmission is a two-front war. Infectious spores fill the air in dark, damp environments, making entire sections of cities lethal to breathe in, while a bite from an infected passes the fungus directly. The infected themselves evolve through horrifying stages. The recently turned are fast, human-like runners. Over time, the fungus grows, creating cunning stalkers that hide in the dark. Eventually, it erupts from their head, blinding them and creating the iconic sonar-hunting clickers. The oldest become bloaters, lumbering tanks of fungal armor that hurl sacks of explosive spores. The result is a world 20 years into collapse, where nature is violently reclaiming cities, and humanity clings to life in oppressive military quarantine zones, constantly fighting both the infected and each other. Resident Evil. Welcome to the corporate apocalypse. The tyrant virus, or T-virus, was engineered in a lab as a biological weapon by the morally bankrupt Umbrella Corporation. Its accidental release from a research facility in the Arklay Mountains was just the prelude to the full-scale disaster that would later consume all of Raccoon City. The initial wave of flesh-eating zombies is just the beginning. The T-virus is a powerful mutagen, warping its victims into an ever-evolving bestiary of bioorganic weapons. Soon, survivors must face off against agile hunters, ceiling-crawling lickers, and the iconic, trench-coated tyrant. This apocalypse was manufactured, packaged, and sold. Every shambling monster and every horrific death traces directly back to a boardroom decision fueled by greed and military ambition. World War Z. This is the zombie apocalypse as a global wildfire. A hyper-aggressive pathogen of unknown origin rips across the planet with terrifying speed, boasting an incubation period of just 12 seconds from bite to turn. The world is overrun in a matter of weeks. The infected are lightning-fast sprinters driven by a primal need to spread the virus, but their true threat lies in their collective behavior. They operate as a swarm, a hive mind that flows like water and crashes like a tidal wave. They are attracted to sound, turning cities into deadly echo chambers where a single noise can trigger an avalanche of bodies. Most iconic is their ability to form zombie pyramids, climbing over one another in a writhing mass to breach walls and overwhelm any defense through sheer, horrifying physics. This outbreak is a planetary war, a species-level threat that requires a global solution. The key to humanity's survival is a bizarre biological loophole. The zombies ignore the terminally ill, making the act of infecting oneself with another deadly disease a desperate form of camouflage. Zombieland. Welcome to the United States of Zombieland, where the end of the world began with a bad burger. The apocalypse was sparked by a mutated strain of mad cow disease that quickly became mad zombie disease, sweeping across the country and turning most of the population into fast, aggressive, and perpetually hungry ghouls. The zombies here are a genuine threat, from the surprisingly athletic to the nightmare fuel clown, but they primarily serve as deadly obstacles in a dark, comedic road trip. The key to navigating this wasteland is a practical, funny, and life-saving set of rules, meticulously crafted by a neurotic survivor named Columbus. From rule number 1, cardio, and rule number 2, the double tap, to rule number 3, beware of bathrooms, and rule number 31, check the back seat. This list becomes a gamified guide to staying alive. It's a philosophy that transforms the grim reality into a series of challenges to be outsmarted, turning the horror of the apocalypse into the backdrop for a story about finding a family and learning to enjoy the little things, even if it's just for another day. And that's 8 apocalypses, from slow shamblers to hive mind swarms. Did I miss your favorite outbreak? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and always remember rule number 1.